The MoneroTopia weekly news segment is sponsored by WizardSwap.io, a non-custodial cryptocurrency exchange.
Tony.
Realizing I didn't bring up Shortwave's tip. Sorry about that, Short. Why is the land not priced directly in Monero? Yeah, I would have liked that, but I think we know why. For practical reasons, as much as we love Monero here, it's people are not yet valuing things in terms of Monero. They still value things in terms of the dollar. But I don't know. Maybe it was just an oversight by George. Maybe he is willing to price it in Monero. But George left. Tony, what's up, man?
Hey guys, good. How are you?
Good, man. Good. What's going on?
Been loving the special guest segments. I like when the merchants come in and they talk about the products and what they do, and XMR Bazaar is just getting big, and it's really nice to see.
Yeah, it's exciting to see. I mean, like that's like kind of right. One of the things we would say, like, oh, imagine the day somebody's posting land for sale on X. Like, and we're seeing it. We saw that land that got posted in Argentina was very cool. Now to see Binghamton, New York, like a place that I know I've been to, somebody's selling 16 acres for Monero. It's kind of a dream come true. I don't know. I don't know if I want to go hang out in cloudy Binghamton. Although building a spa on the side of a mountain could be quite cool. Could be cool.
Yeah. It kind of feels like those early Bitcoin stories of somebody selling their house on Bitcoin or stuff like that. That's what it kind of feels like.
I mean, it's a good asset. 16 acres of land in Binghamton, New York. Even just as an investment, just to hold some property. It's not too wild, not too crazy, not too far fetched for that price for $88,000.
That's a lot of space. Yeah, you can do a lot of it, man.
Yeah. Just to hold some land may not be the worst idea.
Yep.
So we got a lot of news this week, man. You got a lot of links. How we looking?
Oh, a lot of stuff. Like,
okay, we'll let you
I
run through
opened
it.
my phone on Monday and I just saw so many things. Like JD Vance visits the Pope, and the Pope died, and Schwab resigned. So I just thought, okay, that's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about next
That's
week.
true. That was a hell of an Easter Monday.
Yeah.
What was going on there? Some power moves, right?
Somebody's, I don't know. It's maybe the Pope wasn't wearing a suit and he didn't say thank you, so he just. So, I don't know. It's people are saying so many things. I don't think he killed him, but it's kind of like a crazy coincidence that he visited him the day before, and then I don't know. It's just so many things happening.
I don't see your screen share yet, Tony, so I can't pull it up.
Yep. Actually, I was going to share this thing first. So people are celebrating Monero in Netherlands. I'm kidding, they're not. But
imagine that's cool. MoneroTopia 2030.
Yeah. Everybody's celebrating the King's birthday, which is, I think, today, actually. So everybody's wearing orange and walking on the streets. And but this could be MoneroTopia 2030. Now, let's see. Yeah, let's talk about Klaus Schwab. So I think on Monday, or I'm not sure which day, but it was early of this week, he resigns with immediate effect. After decades of steering with the globalist agenda from behind the curtain, Klaus Schwab, founder of the World Economic Forum, is out. No farewell tour, no transition speech, just immediate resignation. The architect of the Great Reset has left the stage. What does it mean? The man who said you will own nothing and be happy is no longer at the helm. Schwab's WEF-shaped lockdowns, digital IDs, ESG tyranny, and transhumanist vision. His exit signals a major shift and possibly panic within the agenda. He didn't retire. He resigned immediately. A closed-door emergency meeting followed. A successor is being scrambled. The machine is glitching. Why now? What's coming? And what are they afraid of? And when I saw this, I was actually thinking about it. Like, who's coming after him, or what is going to happen, and what's going to happen to the whole agenda of eating the bugs. You'll own nothing, and you'll be happy about it, and all the things that they've been talking about. And then I saw that, the Nestle's former CEO is going to take his place. So Schwab is out, and Nestle's former CEO is in. Following Schwab's sudden resignation, the World Economic Forum has named Peter Brabeck Letmaith, I think that's how you pronounce his name, ex-CEO of Nestle, as interim chairman. Oh, I guess it's interim. I'm not sure if he's actually taken onto his position, but this is the guy who once said that water is not a human right, and I guess he's interim, or he's actually going to be the next successor. I'm not sure.
I mean,
But-
Nestle is like the infamous evil company. One of those infamous evil companies, man.
God, the stuff that he's been saying, like,
Yeah.
I actually have a video, so we'll play like a minute of this. But it's just so evil. It's crazy. It's like they replaced Schwab and they brought an even possibly worse person. But I wonder what happened to Schwab. Like, why did he retire all of a sudden? Like, no speech, no. You will not eat the bugs yet, but you will soon. I don't know. So let's watch.
I know. I feel like I'm gonna miss the guy, right? Like, oh, no more Schwab.
He can go fall in a pit. Yeah, it was so odd. I don't know.
I wonder
I
if he'll
wonder
pop
if-
up somewhere else. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like a cockroach, like a bug that never dies. He's in one place, he's gonna be in a different place, never dies. But let's watch this video. I'm gonna play like 1 minute, and he's gonna discuss how is the human right to water extreme.
I think that's a difficulty with the water. Well, I think that's a very, very crucial question. And it is being brought forward by some NGOs in a very simplistic manner. They are saying water is a human right. Therefore, it's not a commercial material. My answer to this is, yes, you're right. Water is a human right. The 25 liters of water that we need as a minimum as a person in order to live decently, which is my 4 to 5 liters of liquid, which I have to take to me, which is about the 4 or 5 liters for the cleaning. It's about the 4 or 5 liters that we need in order to clean the dishes. Yes, this is a human right. But I don't think it's a human right to fill up my swimming pool, to wash my cars, to water the golf course, or even to water the garden. I don't think this is a human right. And if we do not understand that the water, which is a human right, is the smallest part of the water that we are using, and that the big parts, which can be, just to give you a figure, I mentioned we need about 25 liters per day per capita. Well, we are using in the United States about 400 liters per day. So this 380 liters of water, I don't think this is human right, and this should have a price.
Okay, I'm just gonna play that part, but yeah. So, and I like how he already has calculated how many liters is needed, and then beyond that, it's just not a human right. But who are you to say that it's not a human right? That I have human rights only to 25 liters of water, and then beyond that, I need to pay Nestle to get water or whatever. Or it's crazy. So I'm interested to see how WEF is going to evolve, what their agenda is going to be, how is it going to shift? Are they still going to be based in you'll own nothing and be happy? I guess, yeah, I mean, this kind of ties into we're not going to own that much water either, because they'll want to control that too. But it looks like a lot like social credit. Yeah, that does look like social credit. And yeah, I guess the agenda is, I guess he's the perfect next candidate. And we got rid of Schwab, and I was happy for one day or a couple of hours until I found who's next, which is this guy. Hence, I guess the war is not over. But yeah, maybe, who knows? I'm interested to see if Schwab is going to have any resignation speech. Is he going to have any speeches, or Peter's future speeches? So the war is not done, and it's still going. So if you guys got excited on Monday for seeing Schwab resigning, don't get too excited, because this guy is next. Ali said on YouTube, you have reached your limit for today. You have been a bad boy, essentially. And that could be it's just anything, water, food, a lot of other stuff. But it's just quite insane to say that you're not, the whole human rights thing into water is just crazy. It's just water. Like, I don't know. But now I want to talk about the Pope a little bit. I know it's not really about Monero, but I said to bring it up a little bit since it's pretty big stuff. But here's a couple of pictures from the Vatican that Zelensky posted, and yeah, people are making these memes now. Tell the Cardinals I want them to know it was me. People are saying all kinds of stuff, that JD Vance killed him, that's all kinds of stuff. I don't know what to say, but it's a little bit funny. A lot of people around the world are sad about Pope Francis passing away. I like what he said here, and I'll have one or two more links about him, and then we'll move on to something else. But the interviewer asked him whether he was allowed to fall asleep during prayer, and he said that fathers always loves it when their children fall asleep in their arms. So I thought that was beautiful what he said. One time he received a custom Lamborghini, and he blessed it, signed it, and sold it for almost $1 million and donated to charity. And I wanted to show you guys this too, because I thought it was interesting that this image of Trump and Zelensky sitting down just one-on-one and talking about what's going to be next about the situation. I did not expect that at all, but I guess maybe the situation of the Pope made him change a little bit. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen to the war. If I think you mentioned somewhere that that Zelensky and Putin should meet. So we'll see about that too. And I also wanted to show you guys Julian from WikiLeaks post right here. So the post says on X, now Julian is free. We have all come to Rome to express our family's gratitude for the Pope's support during Julian's persecution. Our children and I had the honor of meeting Pope Francis in June 2023 to discuss how to free Julian from Belmarsh prison. Francis wrote to Julian in prison and even proposed to grant him asylum at the Vatican. And that's what Stella Assange said. So yeah, it's sad that Pope Francis died, and we'll see who's going to succeed him. But yeah, now let's talk about mining. So the UN claims mining is a powerful tool for money laundering. And let's go to here. So the UN Office on Drugs and Crime's latest report on Southeast Asia makes no sense. This is an article from The Rage written by Lola. And yeah, so the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, UNODC, has released a new report titled Inflection Point: Global Implications of Scam Centers, Underground Banking, and Illicit Online Marketplaces in Southeast Asia that appears to be riddled with logical inconsistencies. So they basically talked about how, in a case study of clandestine cryptocurrency mining operation in militia-controlled territories of Libya, the UN claims that illegal crypto mining operations provide organized crime groups with a powerful tool for generating and laundering illicit funds while minimizing detection risks. So, and some bad actors are using stolen electricity to mine crypto and to provide funds, I guess, to fund their criminal activities. But also what this article talks about is how, and I think that they know this as well, they should, is that it's actually kind of difficult to mine Bitcoin. And I think they even mentioned it somewhere that for you to actually make money mining Bitcoin, you need a lot of powerful, like you need ASICs, you need high-powered mining rigs, large ventilated facilities, and staff to manage the mining operations. So it's not that easy to just mine Bitcoin and boom, you get the money and you can fund your your terrorist organization. It's costing them a lot of money. And regardless, this is just another attack vector for proof of work for for mining, and they're using this as an excuse to attack it even more. And they're doing that every single time they can. But yeah, the United Nations claims that illegal cryptocurrency mining has emerged as a significant concern across the Middle East and Africa, driven by low electricity costs, is then negated by the statement that such operations often rely on stolen electricity, as the very definition of stolen implies that something has not been paid for. So yeah, I think this is just another way of them trying to attack, put some legislation in place, and just shut it down even more. When we've discussed in the past that, anyway, the illicit transactions account for a very, very small percentage to the totality of transactions. So these are just attacks, essentially. That's the way I see it. Now, actually, I just saw this not too long ago, so I didn't get to read the whole thing from Coinbase, but Paul Grewal wrote on X, at Coinbase, we built a bunch of tools and partnerships that make crypto bad for criminals and good for law enforcement. Today, I'm sharing the first of several examples of how we help take bad actors off the board. And then Lola retweeted that, and she said, never forget, never forgive, #delete Coinbase. And then there's two images. One says, former hacking team members are now spying on the blockchain for Coinbase. And then in the other one, Saud al-Qahtani, a close media advisor to Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, who was fired for his involvement in the murder of Jamal Khashoggi, is implicated in contracting the Italy-based hacking team for Saudi Arabia as early as 2015. WikiLeaks disclosed emails between Qahtani, where he contracted hacking team on behalf of the Saudi royal court. So, as it seems that they are contracting former hacking team members on Coinbase, and Coinbase is just a horrible platform. And before I bring what that article says, I wanted to bring up the subreddit on Coinbase, and I think I've done it in the past. But if you go on the subreddit on Coinbase, just so many posts are about people getting robbed, like this one, for example, the second one, or Coinbase scams, or just lawsuits, fees too high. It's just a horrible platform. So if you're gonna use any centralized exchange, I would not use Coinbase. Like Doug said, it would help if Monero was on Coinbase, because then a lot of people are using Coinbase, and it would help just for visibility, so people could see Monero, get accustomed to it, get some. But I would be careful with Coinbase. I would go to different platforms, but that's up to you. Now, I've read a little bit about it because I just saw it not too long ago, but this is the article from Coinbase on Consumer Protection Tuesday, how Coinbase is helping law enforcement adapt to a new era. Too long didn't read. Street crime has evolved. Today, a stolen phone can give criminals access to a person's entire financial life, including crypto. Or Coinbase, we're working closely with law enforcement to investigate these crimes, trace stolen funds, and protect victims. Crypto isn't enabling crime, it's helping stop it thanks to the transparency of the blockchain. And I've read this article, and it doesn't really say exactly how they're going to do it yet. But just a little bit about what changed now is that the phone is a new wallet, and people no longer carry cash. They have their finances on the phone. And how thanks to the traceability of cryptos, they're able to track the funds, track the criminals. But it doesn't get too specific, so I'm looking for part 2 of this in the future, so we can discuss more about it. But at this point, just use your local bank. Why? It's just your local bank and crypto. That's what Coinbase is. They have so much information when you want to send your crypto. I've never had Coinbase, but I've seen a lot of screenshots. You send your crypto, and they ask, who are you sending it to? What's the address? What's your passport? What's your this? It's just so many crazy things. And actually, I just thought about what George said in the special guest segment. He talked about ATMs. I have a funny story. I know some time ago I went to Bitcoin ATM I was trying to get some Bitcoin in my Bitcoin Maxi era, and you got to be careful with these ATMs. The fees the premium on the Bitcoin can be so high, like the price disparity. I don't know, like I think the Bitcoin at the time it was 40,000 and they were selling it for 47. Like that's a big difference. And sometimes these ATMs also have cameras installed in them, and some, I think, over only a certain amount, let's say 500 euro, 300, you don't have to provide an ID, but if it's over that, you do need to provide an ID. So if you're gonna use an ATM, just be careful. They may have cameras, they may have a lot of stuff installed in them. So we talked about Coinbase. Now Martin Selner, he's a journalist, and people have been supporting him. I think he's based in Vienna, from what I've seen, and people have been supporting him with Monero. So he wrote a post. He said, "I thank those who supported me with Monero over the past few weeks. I don't know who you are." he can know unless you tell him, or anyone else, and can thank you personally, but it's working brilliantly and no bank freeze can stop it. Brilliant. So
yeah, he's a controversial right-wing figure, and I think he's been debanked and
I see.
Unable to raise funds otherwise. So it's interesting that he's now fully adopted Monero. Whether you agree with his views or not, I know there's probably plenty that don't. But interesting to see that he's adopted Monero as a tool that's allowing him to get around the banking system.
I've never heard of this guy. Can you go back to what was the post that you were just on?
Yeah, but what was the country that debanked him? Do you know? Was it Austria?
Yeah, I believe he's out of Austria.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know the details.
Well, that post is in German. This got translated from German.
Yeah, I translated from German.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, let me scroll back, actually. Yeah, there's nothing more. I think I had the article that had some funny comments. I guess I'll find it later. I don't know. Okay. Let's see. Then, yeah, last week we talked about this, but again, if you're in New York City, May 1st, Top Key at 7 p.m., privacy meetup. So if you're around, make sure you go. It's gonna be a good time. And are you going, Doug?
Oh, maybe Doug went AFK for a second.
Yeah.
He's muted.
Yes, I am planning on going. Sorry about that. Walked away.
Oh, cool. Okay. So maybe Doug.
I will be there too.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be a good time. If you're in New York City, May 1st, Pop Key, 7 p.m. Then Sephora Privacy posted on X, paying Bitcoin, Lightning, or Monero at yet another merchant with the awesome new Open Crypto Pay. And looks like Sephora are rapidly rolling this out. Excited to see it across their entire line of stores in Europe sometime soon. But the FX posted, we're excited to share that the Spar Switzerland store in Kreuzlingen, Weinstrasse, is now live. This is the second Spar supermarket in Switzerland where you can pay directly at the checkout using Bitcoin. So, yeah, that's awesome. Second location. And it's a big store. So, and I assume that they're just going to keep rolling into more and more stores. So that's good to see. Then, this is a real-world example of a public blockchain causing a user to lose money, $700,000 in this case, when Monero solves this. So somebody posted on the cryptocurrency subreddit, user loses 700,000 USDT from address poisoning. Not a good morning for one user who just lost 700,000.
Oh, we don't see this link, by the way. I think it opened another tab.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So yeah, not a good morning for one. Yeah, definitely not a good morning for one user who just lost 700,000 USDT to address poisoning. He meant to deposit it to one address, tested with $10, but 30 seconds later, an attacker swapped in that address. Yeah, zero. Okay, 2 minutes later, the victim lost the assets, biggest poisoning loss of 2025. And somebody said, So what's address poisoning? Address poisoning is a scam where a fraudster sends a small amount of cryptocurrencies or an NFT to your account, resulting in a poison transaction appearing in your live history. The scammer's address is crafted to closely resemble one you've interacted with, sometimes matching the first or last few characters to trick you into copying their address and accidentally sending funds to it. And then we go back to what some people said on the Monero
Seems
subreddit.
really easy to avoid.
Yeah. Some people say
I don't know
see
why
any-
you rely on a transaction history for copying an address to send to instead of confirming on the other side.
Yeah, I've never used the transaction history, but yeah, I've always just, yeah. So definitely don't use your transaction history and be careful. But as somebody said, I don't see any reason why address poisoning attacks aren't also possible with Monero. And somebody else replied, because they rely on the user habit of using the recent transactions as an address book, and Monero transactions don't give you that information. So
Yeah, if it's being done in that way, where someone's actually looking at someone's transaction history, then then it's not possible in Monero. But also, it seems like it's really easy to avoid. Just like maybe don't like rely on addresses from your transaction history.
yeah,
I mean, is that really what this boils down to? And like $700,000, like I'd be damn sure every character is correct in the address. I mean, maybe this person moves large sums of money all the time. Maybe that's something they do all the time.
But even so, you send $10, and then you're like, okay, that worked. I'm gonna send $700,000 now. With that amount, I would send, I don't know, maybe 50K batches, or I don't know. That's also kind of funny. So yeah, don't use your transaction history if you're not using Monero or whatever. Copy it from where you're trying to send it to.
And the best way to like, if you're sending a lot of money, to make it the safest way is using something that's like a hard link. So like an established contact that you've used before, like inside like your wallet, right? Or scanning a QR code, so there's no room for error.
Yeah, I love in Cake Wallet because I save the addresses that I want to send it to, and it's just so easy. I just click on it and boom. Or scan the QR. Yeah, that's what I also do. I've never done it the way this person has done it, so definitely be careful.
Neither.
I've never. Yeah, but whoever scammed this guy, and that's kind of smart a little bit.
Big payday for him. Good job.
Got his software engineer salary for a couple of years.
I'll do a couple super chats here. Emma Booktube, 25 cents. A human right is an action that does not harm anyone else. Sell water for XMR. I love to take expensive showers too, and I'm a fan of Tuxedo. I'm guessing you're talking about the tuxedo in my profile picture. Thank you. Thank you for the tip. Examiner, tip 50 cents. Hi, Tony. I'm now in Romania and enjoying the lifestyle.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's if you have any questions or stuff you want to see or do, you can DM me. I'll be more than happy to show you.
I said your name wrong. It's XMR. It's basically a spelled out version of XMR. Clever.
I was confused the first time too. Yeah, awesome, man. I hope you're having a very good time. And yeah, definitely, if you have any questions or anything, I can give you a lot of links to places to eat. And it's just, I'm jealous. I wish I was there now. But yeah, and yes, okay, I'll give you my Telegram session or whatever you use after the show. But yeah, moving on. So there's more meetups in Neuchâtel and Lisbon, sponsored by FixedFloat.com, organized by Orange Friend. So with the help of FixedFloat, OrangeFriend.com is organizing 2 meetups in 2 weeks. The first is taking place in Switzerland, in a city in the French-speaking part of the country that has a very strong Bitcoin Maxi presence. The second is taking place in Lisbon, the former city of Monero's MoneroCon. Most people are there for Web3 bros. So if you're around, make sure you go to this post on Reddit and click on the links, and definitely go. I wish you could go. It seems like a very, very good time. That's very nice to see that there's so many meetups around the world about Monero. in all kinds of places, Europe, US. Then this post was interesting too. So let's go to this forum post on Zcash community, and outgoing those posted on the community forum, Monero dot everywhere. You don't like the title? Me neither, but it's true nonetheless. Every day I do something involving a payment online, more and more places accept crypto, more and more places accept Monero, Zcash. Zcash, what's that? Time to try something different because whatever we have been doing is not working. Well, and some people said, yeah, almost all payments accept XMR, but very few accept Zcash. And yeah, what?
Wow, does CryptoMust not accept Zcash? I've used CryptoMust before to pay for like VPSs. And Monero has always been on there. I thought Zcash was on there too. Maybe not.
Yeah, I guess not. I've never used it, but yeah, I don't know Zcash, guys. What to say? I mean, that's a good thing for you guys too. You know, privacy getting out there, the actual privacy. But yeah, I don't know what to say. Now
People
moving on.
like Monero.
Yeah, people like Monero. I mean, it's positive for Zcash too, because you guys are into privacy. Now we may disagree on
Not as
some
positive for their for the investors.
Yeah, not as positive for that, but you guys are welcome. If you want to use Monero, there's all kinds of ways to use it. Cake wallet, get your gift card. Switzerland, go to the store. Yeah. Now, this person posted on, and I thought it was interesting. Somebody said Monero hardware wallet card without seed phrase. Essentially, what he's saying is that, in my opinion, one of the biggest stoppers for Monero adoption is bad user experience. He talks about the seed phrase. People lose it, a bunch of words. So what if you just have a plastic card with a chip that allows signing transactions? That's essentially what he's saying. Now, people in the comment section in the Monero community said it's an awful idea. Somebody said this is an awful idea. Monero isn't about adoption over everything. Privacy and security is still a fundamental part. If you're concerned about losing your seed phrase, put it on an encrypted USB in a tamper-evident bag and inside a safe. And the thing is just when you have this plastic card now that you are using to sign transactions, but I guess you would have to disguise it to look like a real banking card, because if people know what it does, that it's used for Monero, then you're gonna become a target for sure if they somehow see it.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
that would bring an attack vector to you as a person.
some of this is interesting, but some of this is people just like going way out of their way to do insane things instead of just having the user save whatever it is. And there are ways that we can even improve that already. So like oftentimes, even though like in Cake Wallet, right, we give the user a bunch of warning screens. It's like, you saved this seed, you better do it. You're screwed. And well, turns out that half the people don't do it, and they come to support. Oh, my app stopped working, or my phone broke, and I need my money. It's like, sorry, you didn't save the seed. So there are ways to improve this, like without like doing external things. So like one thing is working on an option that'll just prompt the user to, like with the system prompt on their phone, to save their seed to their password manager. Now we want to be able to filter to only like good password managers, of course. But that's like a decent option because it's an end-to-end encrypted place to save data. And then maybe even on like the iPhone, utilizing the iCloud backups, like encrypted iCloud backups to save user information. Obviously this isn't something you'd have to use, but just thinking of ways that the average person can get into Monero without degrading the experience for someone who doesn't want to use stuff like that.
Good point. Yeah, and just take 2-3 pieces of paper, write down the words, and it's just so safe. And just put it in different places in your house or whatever, and that's it. So I'm not sure what to say about this, if it's a good idea or not, but it's interesting. But I'm just gonna mention this briefly, talking about far-fetched ideas. the guy about the satellite from last time. He posted on the Monero subreddit an apology.
Oh, wow,
for
I haven't
the
even seen this.
You haven't seen this?
Nope.
Yeah, he posted an apology to Monero Talk, and just I mean, it's interesting. I mean, they just said we're not scammers, just volunteers, and no team profiles. We're still recruiting. Empty GitHub repo. It's brand new. Stumbling on tech questions. I'm 12. I like code. Yeah, they try to clear up basically the poor internet connectivity and just all the stuff that happened. But yeah, I'm curious to see how this is going to evolve. I'm not. I don't know. It's just so much money, and then my main concern is, and something that they really have to think about, is that if they do launch the satellite and they actually do get it in space, how do you prevent it not be taken down? Because, and I have just one quick article. Like it does happen that, like for example, USSS's Russia launched space weapon in path of American satellite. Like Russia or just these big powers, big countries that are setting satellites and they're trying to basically take control of the low orbit. So wars are definitely going to happen in space soon. Soon. So even if you do get this satellite up in space and we spent all this money and it's working, and now North Korea and all these places, they get access to Monero and it's great, they can just I don't know, they can just take it down. They can just shut it down. So I don't know. They really need to. I would say, I'm not sure. Really look into these factors as well. But I'm curious to see how the development is going to go and their team and the GitHub. But yeah, I wish them luck for sure. It's interesting, and I gotta say, for being 12 years old and I guess being at the forefront of this, it's impressive. So
Yeah, it's
I'm not
kind
gonna
of
judge it.
weird. It's hard to. I mean, here's what you should do. Appreciate you coming on last week, even though it was hard to talk. You should have somebody. Well, first you should have some like more stuff to show for, like on the repo, because like we're looking at this and it's like all empty, it's all new. It's like, oh, we have nothing to judge by. Like there should be some stuff up. Not a lot, not necessarily everything, because obviously in order to get this going, you need some funding, right? But like you need someone that is a fluent English speaker that can properly communicate the goals, the team, like what the values are, what's going to be done, how the project is going to go, what it provides, what it fixes. Because I think right now, this is not the best use of time for, like, there's a lot of things that Monero could use and need, and this is not it. This is not one of them, at least in my mind. There's a lot of things that you can improve Monero now before, like, this is like satellite systems kind of extreme. But it's interesting nonetheless. But if you had someone that came on that was a fluent English speaker that could probably communicate this, maybe you'd get more people interested and not immediately assume about being a scammer. Because being able to communicate is really important.
Yeah, I agree. Basically what Doug said. But yeah, I'm curious to see how the GitHub development is gonna go and all these things. And I wish you guys luck for sure. And
I mean, it's hella cypherpunk. Like, don't get me wrong, it's hella cypherpunk. It's just kind of a interesting place to put a lot of resources when there's a lot of other things that Monero could use right now, improving on. So
yeah, like the first time I saw it, you jump a little bit because it's it's out there, it's big. But yeah, good luck to you guys. And okay, yeah, the last post is this one. I guess somebody bought 50,000 euro worth of XMR today in a peer-to-peer transaction, and this is the cash. So that's cool. But yeah, guys. So this was this week's news section. A lot of interesting stuff, and I'm curious of how WEF is going to develop. And I'm very excited to talk about it in future episodes for sure. But have a good weekend, guys. And unless there's any super chats or anything.
Awesome, thank you, Tony. No new super chats. Someone said it would be great to have Monero Pay added Cake Wallet support. What does that mean? Monero Pay, like the POS system? That's kind of a separate project. If that's what you're talking about. Monero Pay is for like merchants for receiving. You can send to a Monero Pay merchant from Cake Wallet. But Cake Wallet doesn't have a specific merchant mode, if that's what you're asking about.